Zang ye jo na zang ye jo na lai chang je paran de da ne jo che la ye jen zang ye ve zo na ye lo lai bian je zang je gu ba rai shu zang ye jo na lo ye jo na lai Branda Dane Yoji Daya Janza Yeve Zona Ye Lola Benzer Sanje Dova Sanje Jonan Loye Jona Laya Janje Branda Dane Yoji Daya Janza Yeve Zona Ye Lola Benzer Sanje Dova Mananga Danyambe Simjan Damjen Deva Dan Devi Gyudan Demba Gyorje Donga Dan Donga Ye Gyudan Deva Gyorje Donga Mebe Deva Mindalva Gyorje Yere Dada Yedan Deve Danyala Deva Gyorje Manangana Yambe Simjanda Devadan Deve Gyodan Dembara Gyorje Dongada Dongan Ye Gyodan Davara Gyorje Donge Mebe Devadan Mindavara Gyorje Yere Dada Yedan Deve Danyala Dembara Gyorje Managana Yambe Simjan Damjen Devadan Deve Gyodan Dembara Gyorje Dongada Donga Ye Gyodan Devara Gyorje Donga Mebe Devadan Mindala Gyorje Yere Dada Yedan Deve Danyala Devara Gyorje Oma Namo Guru Bandandere Vela Gana Dharana Jere Mola Guru Mamuda Zede Bala Oma Namo Guru Bandandere Gandela Gana Dharana Jere Mola Guru Namuda Zede Bala Oma Namo Guru Bandandere Gandela Adarana Jere Mola Guru Mahamuda Zede Bala Ambendra Zanda Zamaya Manu Balaya Bendra Zanda Denova Dira Dira Meva Zanda Gaya Meva Zoe Gaya Meva Anuranda Meva Azrava Sede Meva Yanta Sawa Karma Zata Me Tadam Jiryam Guru Ahoy Bhagavin Sarvada Dangana Bendra Mamema Nazira Bhavama Zamaya Sando Laye Bege Jaja Manoda Rera Neje Gila Yamba Anja Jula Meda Bulwaye Doge Namda Jila Chobraja Oma Namo Mama Guru Mandala Ganarandaya Mezim Janam Gezambada Oye Jela Jela Jejon Domo Dambaye Jege Golo Golo Nase Jamandele Narala Mamedola Barajede Gadisun Tayla Meja Yola Mayena Tekunga Zoande Lona Yojingelo Jejabarjebe Medama Martani Nangadang Besangan Sange Gopan Maja Dabarchedo Tambe Chudama Tangadan Dope Guru Tingyuya Sambe Kono Jajas Sa Tamne Sanrona Sonze.
Hola. Okay, so First, in order to listening this teaching, we try to generate a perfect motivation. That is to say, so motivation to become fully enlightenment in order to be helpful and benefit all sentient beings. And the number of those beings we have in our mother as vast as the space is vast. So in order to bring some benefit to all these beings, like as far can the space go, we generate this motivation, and we're going to listen this teaching on the 5 limbs of Mahamudra. Oh yeah.
Also, 다들 나라 가장아서 아참 민제다 장민제 장주기 샘당 되니 이단기라. 아마 꾸지 라면 나죠 당자 다 숨대 쇼사샤 다들이 나서 쉬어야들라. 네 저기야 친구 당 ane je ngoa tangche ta dring le sengi de re ane dendo ta de la pe ge che sho ta ngo ji chaga chimbo se ada den den de ne sha sa za jia gu qing ya lo xie shen da de
oh yeah okay okay so we did already cover on this text. We start with the motivation. We talk about, we remember like love and love, kindness, or like cheerfulness to cherish others. We do have this thought. Then we think about the yidam, the practice to visualize ourselves in order to be yidam. It was Vajravari, we visualize ourselves as a yidam. And last time we were talking about like the Guru Yoga, or the, let's say, maybe some the quality of the master, and all these things about the full body of the Guru. And now we need to dedicate. And the way we dedicate that will be Chagya Shampo dedication or Mahamudra dedication. So this idea, it's a vast, very vast dedication. So you let's say, yeah, you direct the energy accumulate during the practice in a very vast way, in the Mahamudra way. So this is very important, Rinpoche say. We need really to focus on that. That's very important.
Hola, so Tadila Sami Kinanga, young Bala, Namdogi, so Madena, Kingi is the Carmeta, some Metodila, and then some Adi. That's I get him a good in a lot. Any Tangbode, Sami Namka, young Balas, and something more dream. I need you one Namdog, it is on Madena, some day la, more trip again, top shedding. Any Tadin motor, but Telatina song. King is a Kamita, so the end de Adiki, Jebude, Tobagon and Jebude member. Takogi sang in Alutona, Kimzen Kare, Pendo Karanga, so Odiki, Jebu Karajungu, the shepherd. I need the see Shibadiki, anything Yamlin Chetansilo. Oh, the Tadikan, Tikan Shibadiki, Yamlin Chetansilo, or the subject.
No. Okay. So here, so we are already on the heart of the practice. So when you have the dedication, and before that, so it's a practice of Mahamudra. So you're on this one, okay? So as long as a cloud accumulation of thoughts. So the first line here, okay? So that will be like introduction to the nature of the mind. Or literally we say neutral, means like the no, it's like the face of the surface. And true is like showing. So showing the face or showing the, let's say, the surface of the mind, what we can touch with the mind, this kind of thing. So that's the first line. And then non-dissipate the vastness of space, the nature of mind. So we'll maybe see about the Tibetan word each by word, but let's say, so the second line here. So this second line is the way or the method or the how you get to this introduction, or you get this understanding this nature of the mind. So that's the way, you can say, okay? Then the third one, the planet and star of the twofold knowledge are without splendor. So here, it's like, so you have the first, it's introduction, then you have the way. So the second, it will be like the result, like what you get from that. What will be the fruit of the practice. If you practice in this Mahamudra, what will be the result, what will be the fruit. So it's expressing here, like the result. And the last one, finally, therefore make efforts concerning a mind that is free from thought. So this one, it's a lang nian, or literally how you, we say usually practice. Yeah, we don't say this word, but the idea here is like how you get experience from something, how you put things into experience to get something out of it, like to get really experience, to get something. And how do you do that? How you literally practice, or how you get some experience. So in these four, you have these four things. So first, it's the introduction, then the way, then the result, and then you can say the practice on the meditation. That's all.
So, Tadela Dombo, Samigi Namka Yang Balas, and Colors and also Samdi, and Namkanashin. The pen Namkanashin, but yes. That's Hamala Cap de Oba. And then Namkadela, Ta Kawaii, that's Anna Ta Zoya Meba. Nico Namka de Tongba Imba. 남카는 가래 있는 중기여봐. 남카 연애로 당아서 제신 나살이나 남카 동바 여성도 애네 지금 나가서 깨두고 말도 애네들 동바면은 제신 나살을 깨두고 말해. 다음에 변화서 제신 나살 깨야돼 가르고 저한테 동바고라 동바면은 그 깨기가 말해. 다음에 변화서 배나 메도 있나다 신동한다 다음에 가서 강바서 오나 남카데 구워래 저 모타데 땅거나 남카데 구워래 동바면은 모타 도트 말아
네네네네
다음에 배나 진 남주이나 남카데 구워래 남주 당사면은 데 동바면 남주 도트 말아
나래
된도 가래 있나다 남카데 참말로 고데 괜지 배 어딘 말해 배 다음에 전에 내가 저 샘대양 매나 내가 저 강 제두가 말해 가르드나 저 샘대면은 야 상기하고 황랑 그렇게 야 말해 망아 송라 냐와 코라랑 그렇게 야 말해 다음에 배나 단나 저 다직된 디나라 이나 차잖아 다 배나 지 남주저 거래 모타저 거래 컴퓨터 거래 펀저 거래 되네 딱 가리나 제가 좀 아주 샘되면은 내 상마 지어서 두 번 말해. 샘되게 저버라 거기 상로 당네. 데 상로 당해 되면은 또 가야서 두 번 말해. 그러나 저기 신가다에 나다 에네 칼라서 나다 깨제시에 나다 어디 가리나 샘되면은 가 제두 번 말해라. 어디든 남카든 때 샘이셔 때 직관이 좀 어디서 그래.
Okay. So here, so when we talk about mind, and here when you have this word, so yeah, okay. So the idea here, so when you see the word in Tibetan, is not really what you have in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so let's see what you have in the beginning here. So in the text here, it says Semni Ginanka Nonwala. Okay, and actually this sentence is this one, the vastness of space, the vastness of space, vastness of space. Okay, so that's the first sentence. So only this one, like the vastness of space, yeah, that's it. That's the only things you have on the first page. And here, when you talk about this vastness of space, so you have to think the space is something that is no limitation. It's not even like limitation. There is no boundary. There is no place or time you can say, okay, from now on, there is no more space. Space is always infinite. I mean, it's, when you say infinite, it's hard for us to grasp the idea, because it's like, okay, but at some point I should stop my thinking, and maybe up to now there is no more space. No, no, it's like infinite. You cannot put an end to space. So that's very important. First thing is this idea. So the space is absolutely infinite. There is no boundaries. And no boundaries in any direction, not just like in horizontal direction, but in all directions. So that's the idea. So the space is infinite in all directions. And also it's crucial. without space, nothing can happen. We should say, like, for example, if you see like flower, okay, so in flower, in order for the flower to grow, to be somewhere, to rise and to grow and to bloom at some time, you need space, because if there is no space, there is not space, literally, for the flower to grow. So that's very important. Any kind of thing. So like flower, trees, whatever, you need space. Even like houses. If you want to build a house, it's the same. You need space, because at some point you get 1 floor, 2 floors, 2nd floor, and then you go up, and then you need space, you know, to go so high. So in the same way, you can say, as crucial as the space, our mind is essential. If there is no mind, we can do anything. There is no, I mean, you understand this idea of freedom. I don't know if it's clear, like the space to grow, the space to build, the space to do whatever you want, to move around, to go everywhere. You have this freedom. So it's the same way. The mind is like this kind of, yeah, I would say like freedom or possibility, potential somehow. So if there is no mind, there is no one who can get enlightenment. There is no way to get enlightenment if you have no mind. You have no way also to fall down in the samsara, literally. So someone get enlightenment, fall down in the samsara. It's all depending on the space. So that's very, very important. So to really consider this idea, like our mind is like the space, in the same sense of like limitness. There is no limitness, there is no boundaries, and also it's like the support of everything. Everything you do, everything you think, everything you do is based on mind. Without mind, there is no beings, there is nothing. So in the same way, so the space and the mind has this connection to each other and like similarities. That's all.
Voilà, so that's the same game. Na look the Kanam Kadam Dore, Single Sam Giran Shinderam. Or that day, that same Ginalang as Aya Sange Govan Tabnan Sam Dere. Ra Kamna Sam the Indi, that Sange Govan Tabella Karagorasana. So the Sanke Machuan, the Sugi Gachu Marsina, Namdo the Gachu Marella.
No,
oh, that's a semi Namdogi in some Matin Nasda. And so the Namdo da Mandadua, Namdo Damanda Tela Tene. And also the Kora as can Chavarella. That Kora condition was na? Oh, Tapena Miji Gaja Shatanchila Tene. Oh, Tene. Kemoshirgiopa, Gagiopa, or then Hosemi Namdo Sirva. Then Gaja Shatanchila Tene, Sigbaza Yopa, any Gagimepa, any Yemiko, Kalazamito, or the Nisha, then Namdo Sire. Oh, they give any not so Cora Lare, they mean the Cora Lare, Coras Nasolo de Kangachi Tedo. Oh, they can't.
No, so Namdogi Gogi Maria Nasogi Dishimo
Namdog Latene, and also Kangan Mambo Tedo. Oh, Kanga Chandu, or the Corala.
Larry, but don't put in son de some Nam Namdo Sagre Cantes
Namdo de Ki, and then also Corala come to Gorella, Namdo the Coras in the Ra. And then Namdo the Meba Mazona and a Corara isn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but Namdo de Meva Chasona, Yander isn't.
Yander is okay.
Corredungala Tadu Gorella. Namdo de Mesona, and then a sola Kangali Amarella, Cantanaso Dictin Dinala Devan and Kansan Numarella, Namdo Mesona. Oh, then the Titan, some Canadian Namkado race, Namkala Kangal Kayamara. In a Kangal de Karela, then like Kambatan, Motatan, Namdutan, the Samarava. Think of time over the Kajana Zochores, Kazazochama, Kajamata, Doshos, Kajadoshama, the Kalmamba. In a Namkana Kayamarte, the Motatan Kambat on the Solar Yota. O dana chana tene ngaso sem khorang ngo de la kanga leo mar ina ko namdo de la kanga leo re la namdo de ki kanga leo ra.
Namdo di kanga di ke se.
Kanga de kanga zoken de sur namdo re la ra.
Lari.
Bena nam khala ra. Ta tin sa bena mukpa mo bole ya ro ta sa shu chum ba sha kim chen khare la tene jung wor na. Ngaso de nange tene chagen dama da thunge mangbo ge tene tuba dawo tang ta mota dawo tang me khor tang me ge sa shu sha song de I kanga there ma to nam ka khorang gala sa yo mare ane de tuba yo mare nyokta yo marwa o dana chana te ngaso sem de gala nyokta marte ina nyokta de khare ar nam do de ki sule so bar na sem de nam nyokta zo bar zo gyu de wa namka de tongbar de ina khorang nyokta su zo bar na khangba se shana nyokta zo bare ene de la mota tang shana nyokta zo bare namdu tang shana nyokta zo bare namka de la wa
sem koron dik je shi
ta sem de la nyokta zo sur namdo de res wa
nare
ta namdo de me ba shana ene kanga de ya mare la da de namdo de me ba zo to ma so da namdo kanga de me ba zo re la ra
nare
어딘데 네 남도가 진성 맞잖아. 어디 된 거야. 남도 진성도 매워서 그래라. 거기 도서대.
남도기 땡숭.
남도대 빼는 남칼에 진짜 버려 그래서 진.
네네네.
진바도 남칼에 진바도.
네네네.
빼는 어디로 모터 땅 남도 땅 담을서 두바 망보기 남카서 깝샤도.
네네네.
어디라 따지 두바디 장마서라 가르서 버서나 모터 땅에 버서라 남도 땅에 버서라 라. 소자 숨에 버서라 근데 남카 장마 형그래라라.
네네네.
어디라 장서대 샘들라네 남도도 매버서라 해라다.
Nare. Thank you, Manashi. Okay, last one. Okay, so when we talk about this mind, so now we are about this mind, and we talk about mind as a space, and there is like the similitude, or you can say drapo, like it's look like the same, like some like same kind of nature we can talk about. So here, when you talk about mind, and here semgi nelu. Okay, so normally we say like the nature of mind, or actually means name is like to stay, and look, it's the way of something. So it's like how the mind stay, or what is really how it is really, just think like that. So when you think of that, the mind is absolutely free of everything. There is no things you can grasp as a color, as shape, or whatever. Mind is totally free, like space. So you cannot say like the space is this or that, and there is no way. Space is just a space. But you can say in the space, okay, there is so many things. Like you can have like Moshe said, car, plane, house, and people, and a lot of things is occupied. Let's say you can say this space, and this can create a lot of trouble. So in the mind, in the same way about this thing, like create all this somehow trouble, like occupied, let's say, the mind, we have what we say in Tibetan namto. Okay, namto. So namto is like we say sometimes like thought or like conceptuality, like thinking about that. Okay, let's say we don't know what this really means in Tibetan. So just give some understanding what is means namto. So let's say first we say like thought, but you will have a better understanding when we understand what is that. So when you want to understand what is namto, the thing is, depending of what happened, like what aspect, because in this world, namto, you have like kind of aspect. So depending of what aspect, you will react in such a way. It's a bit like that, okay? So for example, let's say if someone is a very kind, someone you like, and is, I don't know, it's friendly, and he gives you some gift or whatever. He's very kind. So according to this aspect, okay, you will react by being joyful, by being happy. And this joyfulness or this thought or this happiness, whatever you call it in your mind, this is namto. Okay, this is what we call namto, because it's something it's happen depending of what happened in like next to you or in the situation. Let's give another example. If someone is unpleasant, the contrary, like he say you harsh word, or he say bad things, or he argue with you, or he say there is something wrong or whatever. So everything is like this kind of aspect this time. So now you will feel, you will react with hunger, with hostility, and will be like unhappy feeling, and maybe sadness or depression, or if someone say bad things about you, and then you will be like sad and desperate. Okay, so this is also Namto. Okay, so that's this idea. So here is an aspect out there somewhere, like someone or some situation, some circumstances, and you bring something into your mind. And then you feel that. You bring like feeling that and being that, being sad or being happy, being joyful, being like pleased or whatever. So this is Namto. And actually, if you realize really about this thing, in the mind itself, there is no such thing. Mind is just the absence of obstruction. Like Moshe gives the example of like the space. So in the space, there is all this plane coming up and this car. And when you have plane and car and people, you need to have some rule, right? You cannot just go things that's happening like that. You need like, okay, so you have to rule for the plane, rule for the people, rule for the car. And then if people don't respect the rule, you have to act against them. And a lot of trouble arise, due to all these things in the space, people should say directly. So if you want to get, let's say, rid of all this trouble, one way will be to get rid of everything. So when it's like nothing whatsoever, no plane, no car, no people, no house, nothing, so it's perfectly fine. Or you can find maybe another example. So for example, let's say a more drastic example. Let's say there is like a burning house or burning forest or something like very terrible, like fire, huge fire, like a furnace, like this kind of thing. And you have all this very terrible fire burning everything. And you can incriminate the space because you feel like the space is on fire and everything will burn and people will die due to this fire. But if you think carefully, that's not the case. The space itself remains perfectly intact, perfectly without any problems, right? Because the fire is not the space that is on fire. It's the fire is in the space. I don't know if you understand this conception. So the fire is in the space, and the space itself is still completely like before. There is no difference between before the fire or during the fire or even after. The space just remained as it was, and it will always be, and it always been. Okay, so that's the thing of the space. Oh, if you understand clearly or can think about that, so this is what we call korwa. In Tibetan, sometimes you say la samsara, and then you think about what the meaning of this samsara or korwa, and we see. So that is samsara. It's namto. We clearly express namto, right? So when you get involved with this namto, or whatever you call it, when you get involved in this is korwa. This is the suffering, because you get upset and then you react and everything comes from here. And korwa is a sense of a wheel, or like something wrong, something returning, because it's like something like same story ever again. And you start one story and then you start again and again and again. So this is the idea of like turning, always turning. So this is korwa. And when you stop namto, you stop this fabrication, you stop this kind of I don't know, namto, just say. So now there is no more korwa, there is no more wandering. So this is nirnene depa. So it's like you reach or you stay in a very peaceful situation. There is no more drama, no more trouble. So when you understand that, what we need to do, actually, what you say, so we need to clean the space. I mean, if what is creates this old trouble and all of these difficulties and everything is not the space, but something inside the space, like taking the place of the space. So we need to clean this up. And when it will be clean, there will be no more problem. Because some people say, yes, samsara is suffering and everything, but if you really understand, samsara is not something out there, it's not something outside, is namto. That's what is creating by namto, this, let's say, this situation with namto. So if you get rid of this namto or you clean them, you can be whatever you are. I mean, we can be here or somewhere else, or you don't need to move or to go another place. You will be no trouble. You will have no trouble. There will no more, let's say, what we say about samsara. I am in the samsara and it's very problematic, whatever. No, it's the mind itself. This namto that creates that. So if you get rid of that, there is no more trouble. So this is the idea. We need to get rid of all these troublemakers. That's all.
Hola, so ta dende ne ta so de la ta mi de sala pe semde chembo. Pa inji kele na stress la vida stress kan de mambo. So ta de me va sala khar jang so de stress de kan de nam do re yes ra. O de nam do de me va so shana ani kan so la de stress kan sana le mare. Ani so ta jingam cha ro le na so lumba de khar cha na sangye jingam.
상계시.
냥대 상냥대라는 가상에서 강을 매봐 라라. 냥은 생각 강을 기계저와.
네.
그래서 매봐. 강을 매봐 샤나 오들 신감나래.
신감나래.
딱 강을요나 코로아라래.
코로아. 네.
가서 단다 코로아래. 강을 먹어도 다들 강을 매봐서나 얘는 가서 남도도 매봐서 그래서
네.
다들 남도도 매봐서나 가르쳐고 그러서나 되네. 그래서 남칼로 짐바당 목바당 두바당 데서 매봐서나 남가 짱마 샤로라.
네.
남가 짱마 샤데 얘네들 남카나라 가르서나 니마 다와 자 카르마 데서라 얘네 데랑서데 남칼라 짐바 매봐서 목바 매봐서 두바 상마 매봐서네 얘네 다데나 양 다와 미치소 양데라 파 파능라샤 니마 미치소 파능라샤 데나 로파르 데네 양데 카르마서 미치 데라 샤과르스데 샤과 마레라 코코랑가 남카 코랑 하싱이 요아레라 데데 카르마당 사당 아니 니마당 다와당 상마라 이나 아슬로 카 가르쳐야르스나 어디 목바디게 데 코통조가 마레라 목바디게 다 남칼라 카르마 니마 다와 상마르데 이나 아슬로 미토아데 목바디 까브로 그래라 다나 장에는 나라서 셈나라야 상계의 연된 또좀 매직 바지 마데 바지가 상계의 예식이 연된 차마 요아레스라 이나 가서 강아 차주가 가르게 다들라나 the stress mambol에 뭐되게 때문에 까샤르다 가 네, 예식이 연된 대로 다들 어디 남도의 파 치샤나 매봐서 아니 상계 다나를 맞아요 상계에서는 잔다치를 로고 말해라 어디도 얘네 대 명들었다 망보시 대 적신라도 적신에서나 당보는 상계 연대는 알아서 섬노라 조나 창나 열에라라 이내 그 남도의 파 치마시까지지마도 아니 연단의 연결 샤고 말해서 배는 니마당 카르마 돼서 남칼라 연결 샤고 말해서 그 짐바데 파메 바샤 목바데 메바샤서나 두바데 메바샤서나 아니 그 카르마 니마 통으로 더는 더 카르마 통으로 빠장마 통으로 하대 공화처데 제네 치고 말해 들라 서번 주고 말해 유지 주고 말해 그 지달 당고 말이야라 자라고 다 기도 강경 치고 말해 카르마 당 니마서 이나 그 목바데 다사나 너 동으로 어당는 제네 나라서 섬기 남도 다사나 ene denala dadi sangegi she top kinala de digi tobre nata nai mai ba se chugogo maresan ane de denala sange mare be dire sana denala mixege chugo mare ko khran seminala de yonda sama yodere ela odi mindela khala sa jokchen se do jokchen se na tambono jok na changna yorela de yonda sama
맞아
어딘데 네 남도 그래서 뭐 킹이게 자가 미자와 자당 카르마로 상계기 지다지 예셔라 저거라
네
다들 자당 카르마도 통고나 무슨 남도 밤에 봐서 그래라 너도 딱 거기 또 쇼더라
네 okay so when we talk about namto here maybe to relate a bit even more simply, let's say, with like stress, you know, like in Tibetan we say semdre. Semdre is like you're always like busy, or your mind is always worried about something. And it's always like worry, semdre. So this is about stress. Like when you stress, you always like worry about something. So that's also this idea of Namto. And I mean, as you can understand, like stress brings so much trouble when you are in this kind of attitude or this kind of mind. You stress and you worry and you're anxious and everything, and it's very unpleasant. It's very painful feeling somehow, troublesome feeling in any case. So here, when you get rid of this stress, okay, when you no more this namto, this feeling, this stress or this thing, then it's very peaceful. Okay, this is what we say, because we say korwa. So korwa is samsara, this idea of like the cycle or this kind of cycle. And it's when you are in the stress, when you are in this situation of stressful situation and worries, and that is korwa. And when you get rid of that, when you're no more anxious or stressed and whatever, at this time, it's called, and we say in Tibetan, nyam de. Nyam means like trouble, and de is like go, or we should just say, no more, no more trouble. So when you are no more trouble, so wherever you are at this time, it's, we say a shinkam. So it's like a paradise or pure land. This kind of pure light, or paradise, or pure land, or Buddha pure land. So wherever you stay, it's this pure land. You are in the pure land at this moment, because you are no more stressed. Whatever you feel, whatever you like, it is without stress, without any worries. And you don't need to go anywhere. I mean, you don't, okay, I want to go to the pure land, and you wish and think, no, it's right now, right here. But without this namto, without this stress. So we need to get rid of that. So that's very important. And also what you have to understand is when you talk about this namto, I really have the feeling like it's something like we say, it's not part of the mind. It's something like on top of it, let's say, or inside, or in the space of the mind. So in which they say you can think about space. In Tibetan, it's not very clear, because space could be namka, let's say. In Tibetan, could be means space or sky. It's the same word. So sky and space is the same. So let's maybe give another example. When you talk about mind, you can think about the sky. So the sky, if the sky is cloudy, or there is like, I don't know, dust or smoke or something, like, you cannot see anything. I mean, you cannot see the sky with let's say the blue of the sky, or you cannot even see the sun, or whatever will be in the sky. You cannot see anything. It's like just cloudy. You're completely opaque to your vision, right? And then, so if you want to see all these beautiful things in the sky, you need to remove whatever cloud or smoke or dust or whatever, like, let's say, provide you to see the sky, right? And when you do that, when the sky become more and more like without cloud, without like this kind of obscuration or something, what provide us to see the thing, right? So when sky become pure or clear, you can see a lot of things. So for example, during the day, you will see the sun. At night, you will see all the stars and all the planets. Maybe if you have good eyes, why not? But the planet and the stars and everything, you can see very clearly. And the thing here, it's, you have to think in like this analogy, right? Between the sky or the space and our mind, and all this cloud, all these things that provide us to see things, to perceive things. This is namto. This is what we call namto since right from the beginning. This namto. Sometimes we say fall, perturbation, whatever. But I mean, I think we clearly say what is it. What is great and what is really here. I think it's clear now. So this namto, when you get rid of it, you can see all these beautiful objects like the sun, the star, and everything. And you have to think in the way like you don't need someone like, okay, now I see the sky, But okay, I have to put one sun. So I have to find someone who puts the sun over there, and then to find some way to lighting up and to make it like odd and so do something. And same thing. So the star is like distant sun. So maybe I could put the kind of the same sun in different, very far away from now. And so I have to do all this in order to perceive all this. No, no, absolutely not. So you don't need to do anything. If the sky is clear and you will see the sun, the radiant sun, and at night you will see all the stars, beautiful, all the Milky Way, all the different galaxies and constellations, everything. You will see very clearly. You don't need to do anything to perceive that. So in short, you can say, this is what we call Dzogchen. In Vietnam, you have this word, Dzogchen, or great perfection or something, or great completion, or I don't know, whatever. The idea is this Dzogchen means, Dzog means complete, right? It's complete. So you don't need to add anything. So in the sense here, when the mind becomes clear and clearer, and you will have less and less like obstruction, or we say this nanto. So all the quality of Buddha will be manifest, will be in the analogy here. You can see them, but really in the mind, it will be manifest. It will be there. You don't need to do anything to add them, like to add this quality of Buddha, we say with his 10 power and this kind of what we call wisdom or yeshe, yeneshe, let's say, or anyway. So yeshe, all these things are right there. I mean, you don't need to do anything to add it. It's just here. So this is the idea of Dzogchen. So Dzogchen, the word, it's that. It means like you don't need to add things. You don't need to, okay, now I clear my mind. Okay, great. So what I have to put inside it? Do I need this wisdom or this one, this power of Buddha? And what else do I need in order to complete and become a real Buddha? No, there's no such things to add, no something to create or to find or to generate or whatsoever. No, one is the mind is clear. All this nanto disappear. 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 I don't know in English, like vanish. Yeah, maybe so. Vanish away. When they vanish away, boom. That's it. That's the only thing you need to do. That's everything is there. You full enlightenment. So this is why we have this word saying Dzogchen, like to really encompass the idea. So the only thing we need to do is clear up the mind. That whatever it is, if it's cloud or dust or smoke or whatever, something abstract like a wall, whatever provide you to see the sky, you need to get rid of. And when you do that, what is done was no more, let's say, obscuration, everything. All quality of the Buddha will be manifest, will be here. That's all. Okay. So if there are any question, the more than welcome. Let me put the chat. Someone write in the chat. Okay. If there is any question, you can ask question if you want.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Please, about Dzogchen and Mahamudra, are they the same? Are they different? Why we have these two parts, Dzogchen and Mahamudra?
Okay. Oh, these two words, yeah. Okay. Nice question. Okay.
사등의 직발에 성로. 등의 직발에서 가르잖아. 그 라진 냠는 자기 샘기 뭐에 차나 작친 사민들라 제가 지금 뭐서데 그런 도신 그런 게 책인 그런 나라데 작친 샘라 작친은 가르잖아서 냠네 지도들아 작친라라. 네. 네 저부 톱도는 작친라 저부기 명들라 작친라라. 네. 근데 시 자기가 지금 뭐서 저부 적바 심보다라. 당아서 람냠슬령데 차천데 냠는 정도 저부대 조선의 톱들라라 간다다 댕이자 인규 돈다 직바인 말이데
Mais dans votre décalage,
냠len 제 갑라 냠len 제도 다 치가ገብ도 차선살아 보라
나래
제부대 조신 지금 말데 제부대 뭔지 그런데 그 민데 카다샤나마 또 이거 되게 직발에 단다데
나래. Okay, so it's the same. So the thing is the same. So when you say Mahamudra with Dzogchen, it's just a matter of word, because the thing is when you practice to leave your mind in a natural way and this kind of thing, that is called Mahamudra. So that's about the practice, or the, let's say, the path. The path is Mahamudra. And then the fruit or the result is Dzogchen. So you can think in this way. So that's just a matter of we practice Mahamudra and we reach Dzogchen, because the Dzogchen is finished. You cannot do anything, and you cannot really practice in the sense Dzogchen, because it's the result is like everything is complete. So this is the idea. So you can say it's the same. Just you practice Mahamudra and you get the result of Dzogchen.
단다데 조신 깔란데 냠내자 데랑 차에 첨어라로 차신 세겐데 냠내자나 토비아 다나래 대부 다나 토비아로 어딘도 등이세 직발에 되이나 다 그게제 샤당 이거나 다 축샤 베저 당다데 간츠 조신레 조신 다 닝메기로서 조신 축첨부 베저 당 거로 삼메기로서나 차전 자선서 축첨부다 이거 등이세 동다데 직발에 되이자
So what you are really to understand is really the same thing, because it's more like a kind of habit. So let's say in the Nyingma path, they use a lot Dzogchen. But really Dzogchen, it's the fruit. When you practice Dzogchen, so like Mahamudra, when you practice Mahamudra, you reach Dzogchen. And this is why, I mean, in the Nyingma path tradition, they use a lot Dzogchen to talk about the path, and you reach Dzogchen. And in Salmapa, like new traditional school, right? New traditional school, they talk about Mahamudra. They talk a lot about Mahamudra. You practice Mahamudra. They talk about this word Mahamudra. But really, what you reach is Dzogchen. So it's, I mean, whatever school, it's the same. So they practice Mahamudra, because its practice is Mahamudra, whatever school, and then the result is Dzogchen. So any school is the same. The only thing is there is some habit. Let's say in Nyingma you use a lot Dzogchen is like this strong habit, and in Salmapa, like new school, Gelug, Kagyu, Sakya, they really most time use Mahamudra Dzogchen. That's all. Oh, merci. Oh, wait. C'est right. Alors, okay. Or diminish progressively amount of data the live supermarket. Okay, lasso. Okay. Ta fece de yapo kogore, parce que na monto sna yapo se yapo sa in samari. Okay. Kola la gidolo ta namto ki kale me pa dogoro namdo asindi. Namdo ane kale me pa dogai inaya natso ge ta sowa yo sowa penage drum la dogoro drum ye new tant ka sa de chala dabo ton new gore ya natso ge cosa mise en yo gemen yo yanda combat ge ta doton jegore le kambo jegore yande ne de tsama jegore te ane ge namto ge me pa dogore de ni contest dogore nyamto
tade 지단 남도 매와 샤네로 나서 내가 제 매와 샤던 밀레게 매와 샤던 드레스는 차마로 말해 그나서 남칸으로 팀바도 목과 성마 텐샤네로 니마 샤랑도 강바도 미 통화 차도 말아 대신 마 통으로 하고 살보 통으로 니마 팀바게 됩잖아 때저 목과는 낙보도 어떤 전부 여보 통도이 말아 니마 샤랑도 배슈 전부 통으로 어디로 하셨는데 남도 당선 데라 야가 차다 톰라도 아이나다 밀레게 샤나다 배 살보 당 그니 야보 그나서 이만 팀바기는 이마 타성저로 그래
So you have to understand. Okay, maybe I should say the question first. The question is how to diminish progressively the namto in the day-to-day life, to go supermarket, relationship with friend, family, ruling the house. So I hope the question is clear. Okay, so this thing here, you have to understand when you say diminish, I say, yeah, diminish or vanish Namto. It's not like you cannot live. You are no more to live, no more to have a normal life and everything. It's actually exactly the opposite. Okay, let's give you some examples. So Namto is something like obstruct or provide us to see, let's say, I don't know if I use provide in the right, or maybe I was wonder, maybe block us, or let's say prevent or something, let's say to see things clearly. So like the cloud, you know, so when you have like, you have it's cloudy, so you can see a little bit the house, the people and things, but it's very cloudy, so it can affect your judgment, right? What you should do, whatever, because it's something not very clear, right? So this is how you will live with this Namto. We live in a world, very cloudy world. We don't see things clearly. We don't perceive the thing as they hear and everything. So this is like the life with this Namto. And when you get rid of that, you don't get rid of the house. You don't get rid of the people. As on the contrary, now there is no more cloud, no more smoky environment like fog or whatever. It's very shiny, like the beautiful sky with the sun. So whatever was in your environment, it's clear. It's very sharp and clear and precise, and you can see things very clearly, very precisely. So it's not like when you give up all this Namto, you don't go to supermarket, you don't talk to your family, or you don't rule your house, or you don't go to work and things. No, absolutely not. It's, you do all of this, but in a much more sharp way. Like you did before, it was like cloudy way. You see things, yeah, kind of, but not really clearly, like there is like fog or something. Like, yeah, you should have a house, but I'm not so sure, maybe it's over there, I'm not clear. And now it's like no more cloud, no more fog. Everything is crystal clear. So when you live your life, whatever you go to supermarket, you need to buy things very precisely. You will be like very sharp and knowing what you want. And when you talk to friends and family and everything is clear. That's what we say. When you say get rid of this Namto, not get rid of everything. It's not like you destroy anything, there is no more. No, I'm free. No. It's like you get rid of what is provide you to see clearly all the things you need to do in your life. And then you do it afterward. Hey, you still do it, but with a much clearness, like very sharp, very clear state of mind. I hope the answer is okay. Okay, last one.
어제는 욕자치기 어렵다. 근데 가르치는 나라 너무 와서는 욕자치 가르쳐서나 또 남경에서 남미저 통도 다 깨제시 아니 지단지라 섬라포 투바쇼 특바자 들리셔라 남도도 매바 차서나 어디 매바 차로 다 투바셔로 매바 차로 투바셔기 말해 그 깨자 두자 가zel라바 있나라 거기 랑신데 하고 되라 되네 그 기본 해결다 semla 가와야 되게 그 가르라면 그 두자 가zel라는 그 semla 기술에 차로 어디 명사지 어디 차로 해서 남도 여담에 캬버들라
아니 가르치고 가르치고
다들 캬버들 어디 다 직과 미자야 다 스트레스 밀어야 돼그 남도면나 어디 스트레스 랩기 말아 남도도 연나 스트레스 망발이기로 어디 캬버려 그랬어 전직 버렸어
나 미션 다시 그 견사했어 그래 나 지금
거기 다 거기 계좌 득자질라 두박이 하용으로 아니 두박이 하운데 아 당연히 이제 그랑 하모가는 들리라기도 삼기로야 그랑 하고 살고 그 살고 차더라 돼 어디래 켜버려
나지
근데 소소라 디스트레스 하기 말 다데 때서 간래요
okay so what okay so, but here there is some which is some 제가 제목 말씀이 뭐지 너 차이요 너 다요
왜 지금 프로블렘 지어라 가장 거기 스트레스 매베 프로블렘이라 말해
프로블렘 가려요리다 프로블렘 갖고 말씀
스트레스 매바 차로 어디 프로블렘래
프로블렘 레민도도 아니
죄송하더라
Okay. I don't know where it's kind of. Anyway, it was to say there is a problem now because when you get rid of all this namto, right? And, so here is a problem. And the problem say you don't have any more stress. You don't have stress anymore. So I don't really get it because okay. So why is that the problem? So what is the problem to don't get any stress? But when I say good things like it's a problem. So let's say normally what happens when you have all this namto. So you have in your relationships or in your family or whatever, and people say bad things about you, like if they get upset or something, and then give you all this bad word, and then you react in the same way. So you get frustrated and you get angry, and then you say bad word, and then it's like normal life, right? What happened in like when you argue with people and everything. So let's say you get rid of all this namto. So whatever people will say to you, you will be okay because you don't have this I say this situation, maybe I don't know how I can say, because something is not really you, like you have the wish to, but it's like some people say whatever to you, you will feel the same. It won't be affecting you anyway, in any way. You know, like you won't say, oh, you're so bad, you're bad at this, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you will, and you will stay happy. You know, you will stay happy and smiling, and I think maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I'm not sure, but anyway, so people say bad things and like so bad things, and keep him smiling and be still happy, like nothing happened, you know. And at this time, which they say, you will really clearly how much namto affect people. You know, you will see those people like giving all these bad words at you, and you will perceive like, oh, I understand now. All this confusion, all these things in their mind, and those make them create all this worriness, all this stress, all this everything. And then you will have compassion. And then you will have compassion. But yourself, I mean, you won't have any of that. You will be like completely free of that. And and then also la nota yomara. Na nota mena.
Na kangal yomara kantar de. The Kora de yomara, Kora me do kangal yomara.
Oh, go yomara.
Kora de that's also got nam to the
zosa. Kora no yomare.
Family dan sangma yer de na Kora de yomara. Kora tan nam to the
Okay, for this person, you have like family and you have friends and everything, but he's no more in the samsara. You can say samsara is finished for this guy or this girl. Okay, it's finished. There is no more samsara. He's completely get rid of samsara. So he cannot create stress or whatever. It's not possible. When you don't any trouble, any worries, so it's a trouble, it's a problem. I don't know. It's a problem. I ask and you say it's the problem. You don't have any more worries, any more trouble. Anyway.
Okay, that is joking a little bit. Sorry. Then that then 가르치는다 세미도들은 난된저 세당에서 냠내 자게 치료 가르치나 전대 넘도 매버서도 배 개침 버렸음.
데두고랑도
다 타마데 네
오케이
타마데
세미도
디라난다저 다 semla 넘도 매버서도 개침 버렸어 인지 민지대로 배 개침 쓰고 버렸어.
나리
나야 근리시 거래 우스겨 거래 냠내자
sem namto tawodo
sem들 남도 매버서야라 딱그 준리시 거래 냠렌제 거래 받으라라
나리
맨덴도스나 준리시 거래 냠렌제 거래 우스겨 거래 sem 남도 매버서야 탑시에 딱 근데세 그 sem들 남도 매버서도 오데라 되네 배 딱 개침부 거래라 맨덴스는 개침부
Okay, so here we are on the last sentence would be like practice. So the thing is say here very clearly, therefore, whatever. I don't know where it's therefore, but anyway. So here, semgi method de namtense. So here is semgi method, like it's free from thought. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure that. Okay, so the idea here is the last sentence. Okay, but thought, I think it's like if you say thought, you'll be like, okay, I will be like deaf. I don't think anything. I'm not sure that's the way. So here it's like namto. Okay, so we get this idea namto. So we need to put effort. Like namten, this is the idea. You need to concentrate, to put effort, to put energy to get rid of this namto. That's the advice here. Not like fault, because if you say fault, it's a bit like, I don't know. The console indicates na fault ne samlo, ne samlo me pas suguri, ne samlo me pas.
Samlo me marta, namto me was.
Indicates this is right.
Third me was all right.
Namto me pas ne kare yuda.
Namto me was na ra kupa chhardan kupa chhay mare. Te khazna ngama nga lare. So chamba chero. Nga ta rila gom gyam nga chiko mapo dera. Lo mapo dere. Lo chungdun gyabu dera. Ta malo hera. Ta nga de keja ta share nga la tamanda mapo share. Ndi chamba kyo chamde kyo tawo mindu lare. Khazna de chama hagu do ase. Ngela cham nena me kukpa sala deya mare sera. Khazna 탐제 캠바래도 탐제 캠바 상기야라 데라 탐제 창마 하고 하시도 냠는 자는 또 국바 자시 돼요 말아대. 그러면 상마들 곰갑 참되는 미 국바 샤로 상마로 용다. 근데 거기 저와도 찍바래. 간데 저와라 세와대. 국바 샤로 말고 그 데라 살로 변나서 니마 샤잖아. 그럼 데라 살로 dimba nangima thayona dera sabasha dera shagara mato kupa chamara
okay, so you have to be careful here. I don't know who translates
that. Ina khona la kharajana kangal deya marta ko gaze de salvation dela pabe and semna de stress de legi mara keje de odire de stress me ba inge chiparo ina ko stress me ka ko keje da namto me ka da namto me ba stress de amare se.
So this is very important. I don't know, maybe you can contact Jan Ulrich. I don't know if it's here or you translate this. Anyway, so this is very important. Okay, this is very an important thing because you cannot say get free from thought. Okay, because thought, you don't get free from thought. You know, it reminds Rinpoche about people. You know, Rinpoche says sometime in a mountain and meditation for some years and everything. And when you come out, some people say, "What are you still thinking? Or what are you thinking? And like, can you hear what I said?" Wait a minute. You know, like I won't go to. I mean, I didn't went to the meditation in the retreat for such year. Just to become stupid, you know, like when you become like kupa, stupid, like you cannot hold, you cannot think clearly about the thing, and you're like very stupid, like you don't know. No, that will be completely wrong. Okay, you don't get free from thought. I don't know what the guy said here, but no, that's not thought. Okay, that's namto. Okay, that's clouding the thought. I don't think I can use this word, like clouding, like obstructing the thought, obstructing the way you see things, the way you talk to people, the way you live your life. You get rid of that, okay? You don't get rid of the thought, you don't get rid of your life. And you should be, instead of become like stupid, which is I will say I want to meditate like 10 years or whatever, now I'm complete idiot. I don't know anything, I'm just like, very hard to think, and no, that will be crazy. That's exactly the opposite. You become sharper, I would say, like sharp mind, clear mind, precise mind, you know, and clever in somehow, because you will like see things more clearly, more precisely. Okay, so what you need to get rid of is not thought. I don't know who got this. It's very, very wrong, very, very wrong. There's not the thought or the thinking. No. You don't get rid of that, but you get rid of namto, like what is on top of that, like clouding your thinking, clouding your talking, your way of acting, your way you live your life. I mean, the example is very clear. It's like you see like the town, imagine the town and people and the thing you live. And let's say there is a fog, no fog, right? Fog, like you cannot see like from 1 meter to next, okay? Like there should be some TV here, TV here, maybe it should be over there, but there's like fog everywhere. So how can you really live normally in this such situation, right? I mean, it will be like, you see people, but you don't really see them. You were like more like a shadow kind of thing. And you live your life in a complete foggy situation. You don't know really what you do, what you don't do. Even yourself, you don't know what you look like and everything. So that's the nanto. That's the fog. Okay, and then you get rid of that. Can you imagine the difference? Every fog like disappear and you see things clearly. Like for the first time, you will be like, oh, that's what my wife looked like. Like you didn't see her before. And you see like people and things in your house and everything is clear and nice color and everything. That's what we're talking about. Like you don't get stupid, but you get tamche kiemba, like omniscient. You know, it's completely, it's the extreme, no, opposite. It's not like not stupid, it's like omniscient, you know, like, because this is the idea when you get like rid of all these things that clouding your judgment, clouding your life, clouding your behavior. You will see things clearly and you will be like omniscient. You will know things very deeply, very clearly. That's what we're talking about here. So here, when you understand benefit, I think it's clear, the benefit. So you need to put effort into that. Okay, that's unique. Okay, Nente, I don't know, maybe this one is correct, nicely correct. Make effort. Okay, make effort. Like try hard. Maybe make effort is even maybe not strong enough. Like do this very 인지미지 제거를 납두로 남디그래로.
그래. 근데 우수겸.
Who's best? You know, like do it at no matter what. Like injimiji, you need to do that, and you really need to make most energy. Try all your energy, all your strength, all your things in do that. That's the thing. That's when you understand the benefit. I mean, what else to do? Okay. Let's go.
So 다 바디기가서 다 창의가 전부게. 네, 송네. 다 이바데 당고데 보충한다.
나리.
당고디라 다 총이 이징이 늘보라. 모남 기체들 맞잖아. 고득이 잡고 매정아. 정화디라는 데서. 다서 다서 다 상계에 탑실라 가라고서나 속니 사고라. 그래서데 곰갸비야 배나 자기가 전부 저바 전부 찍고 곰갸네 상기기는데 계기 말해라 팬도 말해라 대 찍고기로 다 진바땅 거래 절dem성 거래 아니 서바 곰 거래 어디서 저거래라라 그 사람이 서라래 사람이 서잖아 진바땅이야 아니 절dem성이야 템성으로 되네 배나 디더 당서 럽자라 미치로와 미치라 미세는 기보야라 럽좀 찍고 전에 변경 말해라래 배나 럽좀 자디 그래서 자진 검야도 찍보래 어선 가나 가려 가르치나 딱 거되는라 내가 저거래 야무나 송당 거래 야무나 찍 조타수 거래 야무나 찍 전에 ane denala ta pesha yongo wore ane nang khamba wore saya wore thungya wore ane dechide ta de yongala kharwa na lungba de ki tim de songo wore jimje awsan tim masona lungba de na ka che show mare kogi tim de icha de ho menara ode thulimre de yibad thulim de ra ane de kala ta so kala gyabu wore 내가 지도 깔게 거면 더 쇼베 냐되는 되고 말에 가 캠되는 되고 말에 다 뒤져가라 줘 어디 서바래 서바금 거래 어디 숨이나 아니 가서 다 되는라 자야 통야당 다선 저라야 말에 자야 메 대세면은 기보야 말에 미들라 어디 기보야 말라 가르잖아 어디 민들라 갈라르나 소남기 소라래 다 되라 이 시기 소 세간데 가르는 가서디 롭종 거래 윤된 거래 신용 거라 로당도 좀 신용 거래 어디래 이 시기 소라 띵이샤 냠도면은 영어 말라 소위 세도아 그래서 롭종 메나요 내가 제도 말해 내가 맞잖아 가서 딱 한다 가서 미세나라 기보여라 띵이샤 냠도 거래 롭종 지보에 그냥 팽이 말해 내가 지보에 팽이 말아 어디서 냠도나 되는 미세나라 때 기본 거래 어디로 다 직발에 그 상기는 가서 기본에 답시지로 와 어디라도 성유대 거래라 성유대 나도 이징은 누구로 거래라 성유대
나리 오케이
가래고는 이신되나 가서 상물라 가래고 어디 중요야 어디서 이신이 누구 생각하는 가서 상 가래 중 가래고는 중요해요 빠지라 이신 누구라고 그러와 어떤 생각은 나라서라다 미세나 가래 고야지 중요하거나 롭중을 약보고 그래 내가 약보고 그래 어데데 내가 팀 약보 승부 그래 깔레기 약보 그래 어데 다데 짐바 설림 저바생다 데 당가서 식대고 딜라르면 뭐 돈다 어디래다
짐바 신디 건데스코 그래 짐바 신데야
짐바스나 미잔달라 다 ram라 타야 다 지규 빠질 거라 저 제야라 거라 पेशा बरा पेशा में खांटे चाहे हमारा जिम्बा चाहे हमारा वो तो दिला गसो पेना लेगा चाहिए ना ता पेशा उंगरा वो जिम्बा रे जिम्बा अने दिला पेना सो पेना चला रो सोटा जिसु बना ता दिला पेशा मावो मटे सो से थपसे हमारे ओ क्यों 총겨 बना क्यों पेशा मटे वाला चला रहा है मर तंबो अने दे फा 총거라 When a combat zona sana, Tombo combat zoya de la pesha was chewu. Any combat zotagura, any de patsoera, any de la pesha surara. Oh, de la chimbala, Tombo pala matena suraya marafana. And then de la chim down tumba you got it. Chimena? So the Nada Shara. Oh, that's Sultimlare. And the decala, Takale Mungo take it, the sopa gumgorella. Oh, the Jimba Zoba, the Tsunami saw Hila Gala.
Okay, so now we reach the last paragraph about dedication. Okay, so this idea of dedication here, what you have to understand is we cannot just meditate on the Mahamudra, as we expressed how to meditate Mahamudra, and to reach enlightenment. That won't be enough. Okay, that may be strange to say that, but that won't be not enough. And Rinpoche will say some example here. So the thing is, you have to think this meditation on Mahamudra a little bit like study. Okay, so you study different things and everything. It's good, it's important, right? You need to study. I mean, it's something very important in your life. You study, but if you just study, you won't be able to live. I mean, if you just study, like you study and you don't do anything else, how can you will have a house? How can you eat? How can you find even the money to pay you for your studies, fees and everything, and for your book and for your pen? And no, you can't. So this have to be conjoined with the accumulation of merit. Here you have in Buddhism, we always talk about the two accumulation. In the text is say here, the two accumulation. This two accumulation is Yeshe Gitso, Tsunami Gitso. So talk like accumulation, and Yeshe is like wisdom, let's say wisdom, and merit. And when you talk about that, so this Yeshe Gitso, this accumulation of wisdom is very clear. Accumulation of wisdom. So it's like you become knowledgeable. You study, you practice, you study, you meditate. That's the way you accumulate this wisdom. You become wiser. So in somehow it's kind of true. You accumulate wisdom, you become wiser. This is very useful, very important. But it will be useless if you don't do things to live your life. I mean, in order to live your life, you need a house, or maybe not even if you, I mean, you don't need like a big house, whatever, but just normal life. You need a house, you need maybe a car to go to your work, you need a work, you need also to buy food, you need things where to put this food and to cook. I mean, I can go on and on. There is so much thing we need in life. Okay, we cannot just, okay, from now on, I just do meditation. I just meditate and I will be okay. No, you can't. You won't be far. You won't go far away with that. You definitely need to accumulate the two, and it's really the two, because if you just do one, then it's useless. If you just study, you don't do things for your life, you will be dead very soon. And if you don't really study and you just live a normal life without thinking about anything about wisdom and everything, that will be dumb, and that will be not so great as well. So it will be useless. In case when you to get enlightenment, it will be useless. You need to get both united. These two accumulation united. And here, when you do, okay, so wisdom is clear. Now let's talk about this Tsunami accumulation of merits. So here, in which it's basically three things. There is accumulation, there is the practice of the perfection. Mainly the first three ones, we say, about generosity, let's say, discipline or ethic, okay, and patience. Okay, these three. So let's look about these three now. So first is like to be generosity. But generosity is not come from like, I mean, you cannot give if you don't have anything to give, right? So in order to give, you need first to produce things. And in order to produce things, you need to work, to have like a job organized, or you have a job, you raise some money and everything, and then you can give to others. You can, when you say generosity is like giving, yeah, you can give money, you can give things, you can give your time, you can give your help, you can give like comfort and help and everything. But in order to do that, you need first to accumulate yourself a lot of things. You need, what I say is like when you want to sell a house, you cannot just say, okay, I'm going to sell a house. And then you cannot just sell a house like that. You need first to build a house. In order to build a house, you need to spend, to give money to people, to buy some things. And in order to get those, you need to work yourself, to work very hard. So you work very hard, you buy all this material, you give the money to people, and then you get the house. And then you can sell the house. And of course, you can use this money to give to like foundation or whatever things you think it's appropriate. But this gift didn't come from nowhere. It came from your work. So when you think about generosity, it means really go to work hard, like use your study to find a nice job and organize your life in a correct way. And talking about correct way, come to the next perfection, which is ethic. So, okay, you live your life and you want to give everything, but you need to follow some rule, right? Because if you go against the rule, especially against the law of the state where you're living, you will maybe end up in jail or in debt or in bad situation if you do things like people don't appreciate. So better to follow the rule. If there is some rule, something you can do, something you cannot, it's easier just to follow the rule. If you go against the law, against people, against everything, the only thing you do is trouble for yourself. Not maybe right away, but sooner or later we'll have some trouble. So best to follow the rule, right? And then, so that's the second. So you get generosity with like go to work hard, and organize your life in a way you can live with it. Then do that, but remember the rule, follow the rule. Don't go like crazy things and things against the rule and where you're living. You will get some trouble. So don't get into trouble, basically. This is the idea. And then next, when you do all of that, hey, sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes you need to stand on your feet, to go up and work. And it's not like, okay, I'm going to do that, but first I will be lying down every day and watching TV without doing anything. That won't work. I mean, if you do that, you won't get a job. You won't even study in the first place. So you won't study, you won't get a job. So you won't have anything to create for yourself, and don't talk even about give to other people, right? So you need to, let's say, overcome some of the difficulties, because when you start to do things at work, in your life, in your family, you definitely have to overcome some difficulties, some trouble. And this is what we call about patience. When you say patient, it's not like waiting, like, I don't know. No, it's not that. It's Zepa. Zepa means to bear. Well, bear like to bear difficulties. You can bear it. I can, you know, like you say sometimes this word unbearable. I don't know if there is beer exists, but anyway, you have this unbearable, like you cannot bear, you cannot take it anymore. So this is the contrary. You need to support, you need to accept, you need to, even if it's hard, even if it's something you don't want to do, whatever, you still have to get up and do it. That's Zepa. That's, I don't know, patience or something like this kind of attitude of mind. You go for it, you do it, even if it's hard. And with these three, you get this tsunami. You get this accumulation of merit. And then when you combine that with wisdom, so this is the perfect way to become enlightened. You need both. You have really to think in this way. You cannot just think about meditation and boom, that's it, I will become Buddha. No, that's nonsense. Okay, you need the accumulation of both. You need to combine these two. And then, yes, of course, you can have a nice life, more and more clearer, wiser and wiser, and you can go reach the different bhumis, and finally you will reach enlightenment. So that's very important to combine these two. You cannot do only one, or that will be useless. So.
다 몰람 기체들 마찬가지네. 당서 다 총리선 다 진바다 추점선 저바 보면 근데 전도 좀이야 안에 검겨야 다들 서로 총리선대로 다 이제 총리들라 가르쳐 버서 몰람 되고 그래. 예스 몰람 상가라서 문바스는 삼로다야. 다 근데라서 빼나서 돼. 내가 강발이 찍바이나 다들 당보 미일 가림 받을라 상로 여보 땅 거래서 가리기 치도디 강바 찍어 라 근데 되게 람 되가나 다 상로 여보 땅 어디 람 강로 도거를 마도 근데 상로 지암 마당 상로 땅 대강로 만도 하셔라 강지 먼저 쓰잖아 근데 뭐 다들 성도비였다며 아니들 배샤 구였다며 아니들 다 캡상 라고 때문에 성모 당보는 성모 약보 당보래라가 되는 성모 약보 당은 얘네들 강바디 갸바이나 근데 콜라 약보 로그를 마토 아니 다디 사 동바도 강바지 갸셔서 배샤 mam보라 그래서 앞샤나 용금을래라래 배다는 있잖아 얘네들 가서 몰람 생인데 어디를 가서 성모 내 당보래서 단당 얘들 짐바 당 수준도 다데 곰갸 몽바나 미울 카레마 어디 콜라 아니 상로타네 몽 디니 차이세 어디게 상로타야 제가는 몰람다고 그래서 몰람
나래. So here you have Menlam, the path for wishes, literally, or like dedication, or like prayer, Menlam. We have this idea, Menlam. So here it's really about thinking. Okay, we do all that. Okay, we practice. So you say like generosity, you work and you think you respect the law and the rule, and then you practice also meditation, Mahamudra and things. So you do all that. Okay, but why? Why is your aim? Why are you doing that? It's like, what is your objective? You know, when doing all these things, you cannot just do and see, okay, let's see what happened, you know. Okay, I do that and I will see what happened. No, that won't work in this way. Give this example. So let's say you want to build a house. You find a place and you want to build a house, you know, to sell this out, to get some benefit out of it. So you need to think clearly. Okay, so this is a place. What kind of house do I want to build? And okay, do you have enough money to build it? Well, what do I need to build it? And okay, when I will build, how many taxi will take me? And okay, when you will build and everything. And then when I will finish, how much I can sell this house and this situation in this area with this market price and everything, and consider all these factors. Okay, I will get that so much of money. So what do I invest? What time do I invest? And what I will do? And okay, what? Oh, yeah. So you have all this plan, and when you see like everything fit, like when you have enough money, you have the time, and you think about the benefit will be enough and you will get something out of it. So you can do that. You definitely can build a house and sell the house and you will do great profit for you, okay? But it's not like, I would say, just by chance, you know, you plan to do that. You have a plane, you have some like objective, you have a plane. So you cannot just see a place where it's completely empty and say, okay, let's build a house here and I will sell it. Well, no, that won't work, because if you do that, maybe you invest a lot of this thing, you build a house and no one wants it. You know, you'll be like in a plain field where no one's live. And what's the use of that? No use. Okay, you do all the effort, you do everything, but at the end, you get nothing because you didn't plan right now. So we do all that. Okay, we try to have a normal life and follow the rule and dedicate ourselves to the practice, to the life, to the people around us, to be like generous and everything, and meditate and everything. But what is our aim? What do we do that? What do we want to reach? What do you want to attain in doing all that? That's very important. That is what we call menlam. Menlam, which is just is like thinking, samlo. You think, okay? You think, okay, I'm doing all that. Why do I do that? Well, what is my aim? Well, is it okay to do that in this way? Or should I change something? Like all the thinking involved in the process of thinking, building the house, building the house, selling the house, all these things. And before, what is your aim or objective doing that? All this thinking. So that's menlam. That's the idea.
다정당 알아서 다체 고민게 가인한다 다체 다짐바당 출점선서 바금 가래 챙겨나 당서 제들이 소다지 당하는다 다 취매지 빠라는다 드린 그래서 짜시가 도는다 하안질라 도는다 오 내가라네 내가 몰람데 하고 겪고래 라래 몰람 가래 겪어서 멍바나다 내 가르치기 받에 콜라 아 내가 도는서 칸바디 존에 멍바나 가와 정야 임바 수가 쌓인 뭐 어디서 약보 뒤쳐보다 내려오시는 마음보다서 다 상기에 손에네 점절에 편도 가르치긴 봐. 근데 소설라 편도 가르치긴 봐. 야 소설랑 집에 시대인 봐. 미 잔다게 시대인 봐. 근데 내가 개체 중 어떻게 돼 몰람데 빼 개체 버려라. 다들 몰람게 제대로 마찬 고득이 잡으면 좀 생각서 어디 약보 다체 몰람데 개 맞나? 근데 소라 가르고 봐 정말 중요한 말씀 한바다서 사동바지 개셔나 그 캡상 약보를 옹이 말아. 오 빼들어 나를 어떻게 되부터 중득이만 수석이 강급하게 되부터 얘기 말해라라. 근데 내가 단당 알아서도 내가 저도 대만함데 약속 겪어래 정말.
So this is very important. Whatever we do, whatever we meditate, whatever we practice, generosity, we offer things to people, or time, or your energy, or even if you just light one offering, like light offering, or whatever puja, whatever soap, whatever meditation, whatever we do, like in life or even in like spiritual practice we can do, we really need to think, to have this menlam, like why are we doing that? What is our aim? What we want to do? And not like something vague, like, okay, I want to be a Buddha and well, I don't know so much about anything else. No, you really need to think about what will be the benefit of yourself. Okay, you want to get rid of this namto and then to become enlightenment and things. So what will be the benefit for yourself? What will be the benefit for others? You say you want to be useful to people. How you want to be useful to people? What is your aim? How you plan to be useful to people? You know, well, all these have to be a think. You cannot just do things without thinking. Just like, yeah, I do that, and see what happens next. No, it will be like exactly like Moshe said about this building a house in the empty space. You know, you can imagine. You see, sometimes we see like so much empty space when you go traveling and you saw like an empty space and you say, oh, it's empty space. Look the price. Oh, it's cheap. Okay, let's build a house here. You do that, and you lose your money. Because no one will ever buy this house. It's like in the desert or whatever. No one will buy a house here. There is no town around here. There is no water. There is nothing. So no one will use this house in any case. So that's very important to let's say think, to plan like in advance. Okay, I'm doing all that. I offer like a small candle, so I offer a sock, or I practice this meditation. Why I do that? How? Okay, let's benefit all the beings. Yeah, but how? How I can benefit them? What kind of benefit I can bring to them? So we need to think, and this is Mönlam. This is very important. Otherwise, like this guy who bought the house in an empty space, he will get no benefit. So.
So that in the name, Jengwa de Landenza, so that J de la Tamadana, so the one monam the Gachambores, the Mamban Karichigio, and they call a monam giver, they get some with yes.
Okay, that's so. Okay. Then Okay, so it's my fault. Okay, so at the end you have net and the at the end. It's always like make effort. You don't realize. Okay, so it's like every step you have to make effort also. Okay, like the same. So net and the. So here it's like this thinking. So what you want to do, how you want to use this practice. What is the aim of the objective of this practice? You have to put effort also in this one. Net and the. You have to put effort on this thinking, on planning and everything. No, that's all.
Oh, that they Tang so the Tachagashamo, Adin, sing it. The Tachazon should by him. That the end of the Nanaso, Namgyun, Danyam Chagin Nana, Ambo, some case, Tang so the Samja Tama Pambe during Lega the Sigio, some Samgel Arwa. And in Nibade, and the Rangi Lude, Asan Yamnechi, Rangi Lude Tamargo Maimba, and Idam Gitala Comia. And Samlo de Tana, Lude Idam Gitala Gom. And Idam Gitala Gomne, and the Suzo Salamala soy about top. And it's soy about Tamni, and the Rangi Sam de Chagashimanga Gomga. And the Gomga Tamadela and Moachibore, yes. Oh, the Nadin, Larnas, and the Rod of Boston Gate, Idam Gilache, the name Chiola Lama Gomeache, and the Rang Sunday Chagachimo Gomeache, and the Jiglamoa. Oh, the Chagachimo Nadin said that they not from the Gorella, that they got in the Nadu Rella. That is Pena. Do you think Legache, not the engine which go over them? Church and go over.
Okay, so here we finish this text on this 5 limbs Mahamudra, right? Call it, yes, 5 limbs Mahamudra. So these 5, okay, so it's very easy to remember, I would say. It's very easy to remember. So these 5 must be present. Whatever we practice, if we want to practice, we need to have these 5 limbs of these 5 things. Okay, so the first is we say Semke, because you generate the mind. So you think about all these people, all sentient beings, everything, and you really want to be beneficial to all these people, like this attitude. So you generate this motivation to. We say many things about love, and we say Jamba. Remember all these things about the people and the important to it. So this motivation, that's the first thing. So you think about that. Then you visualize yourself as a Yida. So you don't think on your own ordinary body, like modern body, but think yourself to be a Yida, like light kind of body, rainbow body, so like kind of Yidam, whatever Yidam you meditate on. So this is the thing. You visualize yourself as a Yidam. Then on top of your head, Shivo, on top of the head, you think about your Zawe Lama, your root master, and you develop like faith and confidence. We say, I'm Mugu, we talked about last time, about this faith and confidence on your root master. So you have this attitude with devotion, because without devotion, as we say, there is no quality, no realization. Remember, like the sun and the snow and everything. So that's a devotion you need. And then next is Samgi Mahamudra, Samgi Shakya Shampu. So now I want to say you put your mind in the Mahamudra. You put your mind in the Mahamudra, or you kind of, let's say, meditate in Mahamudra. So you put your mind in the Mahamudra, that's the practice. And at the end, you dedicate, or you melang. So you think about, like you clearly, let's say, plan where you direct all this energy, whatever you do, why you're doing that. That's the thing. You clearly have a clear understanding. Why are you doing this practice? So these five, we should say, whatever practice you do, you definitely need it. Okay, it's like something that you can't go without it. That's very important. It's first your motivation, then yourself as a yidam, then the devotion to your master, and then you practice Mahamudra, and then at the end you think about why you are doing that. You direct, or you like the guy by the house. You say, okay, I'm doing that for this reason, and you think carefully of what you are doing. So that's very important. That's it. So here, when you said when you practice Dharma, you can take some like analogy, with real life. So the first thing, first is when you decide to do a job, to want a job. So you need to think clearly what kind of job you want to do. That's like the motivation. Okay, I want to do this job. I have you thinking like, okay, which job I should do, and you think about what the purpose of the job. So this is the first, would be Semkye, like what kind of job you want to do. That will be the motivation or the generation of mind. It's already Semkye, the first. And then you have let's say in the spiritual path, you have this idea of being yourself as a yidam, visualize yourself as a yidam and deity. In the normal life will be like, take care of your body. If you want to. Okay, so in your yidam, it will be like Moshe said, first to take care of your body, you need to have a good body, you have health, or everything. But also, Moshe said just lately, he said it's also like when you want to do some kind of job, you need to put adequate clothing. Right? If you need like a tie, a nice suit, and everything, you cannot just go like that. Like you go in a tongue and short and t-shirt and say, yeah, no, it won't work, right? You need to have a proper formal dress, wardrobe or dressing. Like you will wear a tie, or if it's a woman, you wear like a tire and everything, like with I don't know, kind of special shoes and everything. So all these things you will need, to get the job. Then, so that will be the Yidam practice. Thinking yourself as a Yidam. It's a bit like the same. In the real life, will be like putting some suit on proper clothes. Then, after that, okay, in a spiritual way, it will be like pay devotion or respect to the Lama, right? So in the normal life, it will be your boss, right? You cannot come to the job and like disrespect the boss, and you will be kicked out very, very, very fast. I mean, if you not pay respect, if you talk in a very improper manner to the boss, or like we should say like the president, for example, if you are like in French, and let's say you happen to meet the president and you treat him badly or you share harsh word, I'm not sure that's going to work, right? You get maybe, you will, there is like all this, how we say, sometimes they say, like bodyguard and all these details, right? Security details will kick you out. Maybe you will get taser or whatever. So this thing is, you cannot do that, right? It will be very dramatic. So in the same way, when you go to some like a job and everything, you need to pay respect to the boss. Literally, it's very that, because Lama literally means something which is higher, no more higher, but at least higher than yourself. So that the boss is like the hierarchy, right? Is higher than yourself. So you need to pay respect. You cannot just mess around with the boss. You need really to pay respect and to show respect. So that's about the Lama. Then you meditate on Chakya Shambhu and Mahamudra. So in the real life, will be like doing your job, talking to people, doing what you need to do, what people expect you to do. So you say, you want to do this job. So that's the job. That's the real job. That's the thing you must do, whatever it is. If it's working in the computer, finding something, whatever. You should say, whatever job you decide to do, that will be the main thing. That will be the job, the meditation on Chakya Shambhu. Then, we should say, you have this idea to dedicate, or as we say, you plan, you organize where you want to use this practice, what is useful, what is the aim behind this practice, right? So here, we should say it will be like, okay, you get the job and you do the salary, you do the job, and then you get pay, you get your salary. So this salary has to be put in a bank. Okay, otherwise, if you just live in the street, it won't stay long, right? So the thing is, even if you put it in your house, maybe some robber or someone will be stealing your money and everything. So that will be disappear, and all done for nothing. So this is why you need to put your salary in the bank. Like, okay, it's in the bank and it's safe. No one can keep, no robber, no leader can keep it. Can come and store it. So that's the thing. So here you see in the normal life, all this is needed. You cannot miss any of them. Right? I mean, there's no way you miss any of them. So in the same way, in the spiritual practice, you cannot miss any of these 5 limbs. So.
Hola, so da de chire, tene da so dige. Da drin ge chudun de chazong zhubsong, tene ga so changma da yam do zomba de la gawo jung. 然后的学呢，南京动了，东京能才接着我的家，当时中巴的现在呢，没上土院嘛嘞，嘛土巴的现在那个是中间给的写的是吧？
对，给
哦，南京动了，东京能啥？但南京的东巴的，东京的南巴的是，嘛嘞，因为都我讲的了呀嘛嘞，因为没话的现在是什么中给的写嘛嘞，但那个在搞不清。 rồi học bác sĩ đã dùng anh ấy mong vào nó tại yang dạy cái rồi tao mong làm gì sẽ thì kéo sang mà ta cứ cho tiền học bác sĩ tao anh ấy cháu làm rồi cái thế tao bắt cái này mong làm cái gì
no
cũng nhà này sẽ học bác sĩ cái mong làm cái gì
okay donc ici in Bushi says okay it's very funny because sometimes it's very like we meet together and at the same time we are all in our own place. It's a very, very strange situation when you have a gathering where people, isolated people, like it's exactly the one you say in the Buddhism, we say it's appearance and at the same time it's empty. And it's empty, but it's appearance. So it's really like that. Like everyone is his own place and it's like alone, right? Alone. Right? But at the same time we are together and we are talking and doing the teaching. And it's completely different. Well, anyway, that's happening like that. So everyone gathering, solitary gathering, and anyway, whatever. It was wonderful in what you say to be this gathering, like easy gathering, something like that. But still, we can share teaching, we can talk, and we can practice together. That was wonderful. Moshe is very happy of doing that. And we finish this text, but maybe in the future we can do other kind of meeting like that and study other texts and things. And also in Moshe, we'll pray for our well-being, means every well-being in your life and also in your spiritual life, in order that our Mahabodhva meditation goes well and we get realization and all the fruit and benefit from this teaching and for our practice. So he will pray for that, and he says thank you to everyone, and he's very happy, very happy to be able to give this teaching and to share this experience together.
Olazo sonam de tamja seba ye topna yebe dana pamja de kega naje balon roba sebe zolan doa dola jo jang jo sam jo ve bochi ma ye ba na ye yo Yamba nyamba neba kone gondo belo jo yama hunga zarazan jena wanda ya zo jo do de jembo da Yanda zamba do janda na lai lang ye jang zamba me go ye go de ge ngo zara ban do me ba ye de wa ja we jing gam de ta ja de na za wang ger ma da ge wa yin ge bara ma chu Pero gana nande ya lo jo de ga da ye mo la da bandi jo jo san ja ja nam ju ge me do var chen ge lam o so ya da ban za ge wa bo da na zo hai ge wa gondo yanda lama da me je ba la long cho sa da lam ge yande ram zo ne dor je jang ge go ba nyor do sho ta so sa va